Oh, Mulligans and Hackers Golf. Back for another episode.
Yeah.
And as you guys will notice, we're trying something new this week.
What are we trying to do this week?
We're releasing on a new day.
Oh yeah, Tuesday. We did that last week.
Yep. Kind of quietly we did it last week.
Quietly, we did it last week. Dropped it on Tuesday because technical issues. But I think we're going to stick to Tuesdays for a while now because it gives us just that extra day we can talk about our weekend golf then.
Yep.
A little more easily. Gives us a little time if we're out of town.
Yeah, and it's not a rush to get
done. So
like on the Sunday nights and whatnot, right?
So yeah, I think we're going to drop it on Tuesday for a while now, and we'll see how that goes. You never know. We might get to Fridays because Mac from On the Screws podcast don't drop on Fridays anymore, and we weren't gonna interfere with him dropping on Friday, but he hasn't done a podcast in forever, so you never know. We might take over the Friday slot here in the whole way things work.
To see how it goes, but for now we're going to be doing Tuesdays, dropping at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah.
And noon Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, so we're back with another episode.
I'm rocking my 36 a day Golf Co hoodie that Mike was so nice in sending us.
See, yours is a different feel than mine does.
Really?
Yeah, mine's a little bit more. I feel like yours is like more like hoodie-ish material. Mine feels a little bit more. Not as cottony.
Okay.
Which is fine. It just, I was looking at it, I'm like, is that your 36 a day hoodie?
It is.
I feel like it is, but
it is.
It's they're comfy, man.
So 36aday.com. Use promo code MNH15 for 15% off your order.
Yep.
Lets Mike know that you found him through us, and it would be appreciated.
Yeah, and he's got that. His deal is June 28th to July 1st, I believe, for Canada Day.
Canada Day sale. So check that out. Pick yourself up some 36 a day merch.
Yep, you won't regret it.
You will not.
I'm rocking the rarely seen yellow hat.
rarely seen 36 a day yellow. That's vintage collection now, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know that you can get that.
I don't think he makes them anymore.
Just like your red one.
Yep. So.
Well, so it's been a week. We got some things to talk about.
We do. Let's. Do we want to talk about our golf first, or do we want to talk about Pinebrook first?
We can talk about our golf first.
Okay.
We'll talk about our golf, and then we can discuss my time at Pinebrook after.
Yeah. Okay. So last week, today, which is Sunday, we're recording it.
Yep.
I actually, for the first time in a couple of years, I actually walked off the course today. I did 9. I shot plus 9. When I got on 10 kind of got away from me, and I wasn't going to go and finish the back 9 as frustrated as I was. So I literally didn't even go pick up my ball. You picked up my ball. I walked back up 10 fairway, got in the parking lot, and just drove home and came home and just chillaxed for the afternoon. I mean, we got a big major coming up next weekend.
Yep,
at Paradise Canyon in Lethbridge. My golf game, where it is, there's so many good elements to my golf game right now. And what I'm liking a lot more than what I'm disliking. But man, when I get in trouble, it is so hard for me to recover right now. Trees are an issue. I mean, yesterday and today, I think I hit 75% of the trees on the course. Like literally on the entire course.
Dude, if there, the age-old adage, like if there's water, the golf ball will find it. Well, for you, if there's trees, the golf ball's going to find it.
Because we're going into this important major on the Alberta Golf Tour next weekend, I really wanted to practice my approach shots.
Yeah.
And I really was not putting myself in a position where I could practice anything.
Nope.
There was a couple times where I hit a shot, wasn't that great, especially from the fairway, so I dropped the ball and hit it again. I'm learning to make that shot where if I butcher it, I need to practice and I need to make that shot again. So muscle memory, I learned how to make that shot.
Yep.
And when we're playing, we don't normally do that. We're playing for score. And I'm not, I need to practice, and I need to practice on the course.
Yes.
So like we're going to go out and play 9 tomorrow. For me, it's going to be a practice 9. Like I'm not even going to get a scorecard. I'm just going to go out and hit shots. The score doesn't matter to me tomorrow. I have to be able to hit some approach shots. So that's what my game is going to be tomorrow. Like, I have to practice these approach shots. And if I'm not putting myself in shape to practice them, well, where am I going to practice them?
Yep.
You can't practice this shit on the range because there's no green there. I don't get the same feel from the driving range as I do from the course. If I have a target on the course, I'm going to aim for it and I'm going to try and get it. If I'm on the range, my mindset is not there to say, hey, there's a green, left, right, center, put your ball there. It just doesn't work for me. So that's kind of where my mindset is. Off the tee box, I've been a little sketchy lately. Not as many fairways as I normally hit. I am hitting the ball a little further, granted.
Yep.
I'm every now and then I'll hit some really good approach shots. Par threes have been dynamite for me lately. It's just the par fours are starting to kill me now because my approach shots aren't there. Putting will always be a. I did go back to what you taught me last year when we were in Calgary.
Yep.
The two thumb method, and I'll tell you, I got away from that probably at the beginning of this year. I got a little more right hand low. But when I went back to the two thumbs side by side, the putting actually felt way more comfortable. Putting pace was better, and
that's been your biggest problem. And not so much line; it's been pace.
It's been pace.
Been your biggest problem lately.
Like yesterday and today, I burned a few edges. Now that's just line. That's just the read.
Yesterday was that burning.
But the pace, I remember when I was so early in the season, I was so confident in my putting. Well, I think I'm kind of getting back there now with my putting. I just got to fucking get there now.
Yep.
Right. So I do see some good things in my game. But again, if we could just play a fucking course with no trees and see how I could get around. But fuck, it has been again, pretty much the entire week. Every time we've been down there for the last 7 days, it has just been trees.
Yeah, you're playing a lot of golf from where I would play when I'm in trouble. And I mean, the difference is I know how to get out of it because I've had to learn over the years how to punch out of it. But for you, it's like it's a foreign concept.
Well, again, you said it to me just before we hit record here. My punch shots are 50-50. It's either going to, and I'm either going to strike it and it's going to go 20 yards past my target, or I'm putting it straight up into a tree branch. And it's just knocking it straight down. I mean, I did that like twice today where it took me 3 shots to get out of trees. And I was actually just trying to get it back into play.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even get it back into play. Like, I couldn't avoid the trees. It was like smack, click, smack, click, smack, click. I'm like, I am literally trying to just put it back in the fairway here, and I can't. So, a little bit of frustration today. But again, I walked away from it chilled. I wasn't going to let that eat me up today because, again, I don't want to get in that frame of mind. This week we're going to play 9 holes tomorrow. Men's league on Wednesday. I've got Friday off, so I will be playing a little bit of golf Friday morning, doing a range session before we leave town. And I got gym twice this week, so my week's going to be pretty full.
Yep.
Leading into the major, and I want to be able to go into major when we leave town on Friday. I want to be in that good frame of mind to say, okay, let's go put up a score. Because again, I haven't even done a cursory overglance of the course yet.
Me neither.
So that'll happen.
Be doing that shortly.
That'll happen during the week.
I know. Like yesterday, we played the hybrids just to give ourselves a little bit of a different look, right, and see how that was going. I mean, the golf course got closed in the morning because we got a lot of rain. It was walking only. It turned out to be a beautiful afternoon, actually. By the time we got out there, a little cold. I mean, spots of rain, but nothing crazy. And the sun came out, and it turned out to be an okay afternoon.
Actually, it did, yeah.
But so we played the hybrids just to give it a little bit of a different look, more for you than anything. I mean, like I said to you after, I was like, I don't feel like the tees really changed my score much, and in some cases it doesn't help me because it puts me between clubs. Whereas with the full 6,400 yards that we play for the whites, I feel like that's more right in my range, right? So yeah, I played yesterday. I think I shot an 86. 14 over. There's some good stuff, some ugly stuff. I think I had 1 or 2 doubles. Wasn't left some stuff out there. And then I went out on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. You and I played 9. Played okay. And then I was gonna play the opposite 9. but I ended up just playing the front again because it got so slow on the back. And I ended up shooting a 39, which was +3 on the front, which was phenomenal. Played with Uso, had 2 birdies. It was like crazy. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then, I shoot my 86 yesterday. Today I go out. I was, I think, even through 4. Then 5 I bogeyed. 6 I bogeyed. 7 I birdied. So I'm 1 over through 7. And then I bogey 8, bogey 9. So I go 3 over through 9. And then on the back, I just got on the fucking bogey train. Couldn't get off of it until 17, where I made a par. And then 18, I got a bogey. So I go 3 over on the front and 8 over on the back for an 11 over 83. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a great score. But I mean, it was frustrating because I had to grind for bogeys. And the difference is, like I said to you before we started recording, the difference was I was on the front, I hit 5 out of 9 greens. On the back, I hit 1 green. Or sorry, 2 greens. And both greens I hit on the back, I 3-putted. So, my putter was good today. I was under 2 putts per hole, but it was just I was leaving myself such long first putts that it really put stress on the putter, right? And then, Uso and I were talking about this while we are getting there. I'm like, the problem is if you're not getting around the green in 2 or 3, I was like, I mean, if you're trying to knock down from a double or a triple bogey or a bogey and you make a chip, well, then the stress is on your putter to make a putt. And if you don't make a putt, well, then you're taking a bogey or a double bogey or a triple bogey, depending on how many it takes you to get there. And that's the thing, trying to take the stress off the putter. Like when I was hitting greens, it's fairway green, fairway green, fairway green. Okay, well, if I 3-putt, I'm taking a bogey at worst. Okay, let's get out of here. Either that or we're taking a par. Or, like the crazy long birdie putt I made today, you take a birdie and away you go. I mean, it's just so much simpler when you're hitting greens. And that for me right now is I'm hitting decent approach shots, but I just, on the back, I got a little lazy. I think it was cold, so I don't know if it was just a little lack of focus, getting a little away. I hit the worst tee shot I've hit in probably 3 weeks on number 13. I didn't even make it to the fairway. Like I took a 6-iron and I heeled it into the rough, and I was like, okay. So then I got up and I hit a 6-iron right up, straight up, hit it on in 3. I had a makeable par putt, burned the edge, tapped in for 5. I'm like, okay, but that's what I mean. I didn't give myself any chances, right? Like there was no chance I was making the green from there.
Right.
So it's like all of a sudden your pressure's on your putter to make it. But I mean, overall for my game, I feel really good about where I'm at. Today I kept no double squares on the card. I had I have 5 pars
and a birdie,
5 pars and a birdie, and then 12 bogeys, and it was just a decent round. I mean, that's if I go out there and play that same type of round every time, I'm probably going to be around 80 to 83, maybe lower if I make a couple putts, and I'm happy with that. That's good. I took my driver out of the bag completely. Haven't touched it in over a week. Probably won't touch it the rest of the year, to be honest with you. I've been doing a little bit of 3-wood off the tee here and there, a little bit of 5-wood, working with my hybrids a bit. But usually when the chips are down, it's a 6-iron off the tee because I know that's my go-to most controllable club. So our games are in very different spots right now. I'm very happy with where mine are, and my approach shots are starting to really dial in, and my chipping is starting to really dial in, which is helping my putter. So I'm feeling really good about heading into Paradise Canyon this weekend.
I see lots of good things in my game. I just can't put it together right now. My handicap is up to 14.3 now, I think, and just climbing.
Like you're at 14.3, and I'm at 11.2. I'm dropping.
It's climbing, and I'm not personally, I'm not so concerned with the handicap right now as much as how I'm playing on the course. The handicap thing will take care of itself.
Yeah, for sure.
I just wish I could put it all together right now because there's so many good things that I feel okay where my game is. It's just I'm not getting the results. And that's a combination of, we've talked about it before, there's a lot of work being put into, we'll say, being exercise-wise for me to be able to go play. Probably not enough focus on the game itself.
Yep.
Right? And early on in the season, it was paying dividends. Well, now, while there's still positives there in my game, especially off the tee box, I like some of my iron shots. Chipping is fine. Putting is
chipping today was really good.
Yeah. So I just wish I could put it all together. And because we have the major this weekend, I'm not going into the mindset of what I can't do. I want to work on what I can do and get a little better off the tee box maybe. I really want to work on some approach shots with my irons from the course.
Just I imagine there's going to be a lot of trees at Paradise Canyon, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So, again, distance with the irons is all in flux right now. It's kind of all over the place. I'm still playing from. Sometimes it's a little. I'm trying to get too much out of a club, and sometimes I am coming off the back constantly long, playing out of back bunkers, playing off the back ridges, and I still haven't been able to hone that in yet. Some of it comes to not trusting what I can do, and I'm trying to go back into what I've known hitting irons, and I just got to trust what I know now, and I just wish I could get to play that, because I'm playing out of trees a lot now. I just wish I could get those fairway to green approaches, and when I'm getting them now, in my mind, it's kind of like, well, you finally got a chance to do this, don't fuck it up, right? And I'm fucking up a lot of it. So, but
it'll come.
I'm still, even after the last couple of weekends, a few rounds that haven't scored well, but there's been good things on the course. Like I'm taking that this week, and I'm just going to apply it to the entire week, so that when I get to Friday and we get into Lethbridge and we're going to the golf course on Saturday, that I'm in that right frame of mind. I'm not discouraged right now. I might be a little frustrated, but I'm not discouraged. So for me, I think that's a win for me. I know it's there. Just got to work at it. Just got to get
engaged, so that's the important thing.
So
right? Like, you're allowed to be frustrated. I mean, today was. I mean, you know yourself. Today, it wasn't going to be beneficial for you to play out the rest of the holes. It was beneficial for you to go home and just relax.
Yes, I think that if I would have took a triple or a quad on that number 10, and then went to number 11, I think truly it would have broke me down mentally, and I wouldn't have been ready for the weekend.
Yeah,
it just would have nagged at me. When I walked off today after fucking around on the 10th, and I had that 9 holes in plus 9. I just took it and went, okay, I got that. I didn't destroy the things that I kind of tried to build on, right? And yeah, it's a tough spot right now where I really want something out of the game, but I can't get it right now. That's the frustrating part. But I'm not discouraged with what I'm seeing, if that makes sense. That might sound like a bunch of fucking poppycock, but
it's a frustrating game, man.
It is a frustrating game, and I did get frustrated today, but there's just it's right there. It is right there.
I mean,
and a little more grinding, a little more work, and I think, man, I'm going to be happy with the results.
Yeah, for sure. So I attended my first AGT event without you.
You did. I didn't make the Pinebrook Monday.
Yep. And if those of you guys who were on our socials might have seen that Leah decided to send Alvin a message, and I made a guest appearance in the message about how beautiful the weather was. It was like 28 or 29 degrees and absolutely scorching out there.
Yeah, it was kind of unnecessary. And it is funny how they were expecting weather at Sundry and Water Valley this weekend. The weather forecast did not look good. And so in my mind, I was adamant that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But then it wound up being nice at Sundry. There was no crazy weather at Water Valley, so maybe I still am the weather demon.
Yes, as
Leah would say.
Well, I guess we're going to find out this weekend at Paradise Canyon.
Yes, we are. And if you looked at the forecast for here for next weekend, it doesn't look good. So I'm hoping it's going to be better in Lethbridge, because I ain't going to be able to live that one down if we go there and it's raining.
We get 6 days. We'll be fine.
I think we'll be fine.
So first time ever at Pinebrook. What a beautiful course. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less with a private course.
Yeah, private course, and I totally missed that it was a private course because it was a premier event.
Yeah.
So
private course, first time that the AGT's ever been there. So I pulled off. I went up the day before after a round and hung with my dad for Father's Day, and then got up in the morning and kind of hung out. Went to the golf course about an hour and a half early, as I often do. Chit chatted with Leah there, and then I went over to their awesome driving range facility. So driving range facility, they have boxes of balls for everybody. They have alignment sticks at every station. They have robot ball pickers up and down the field. They had, I think, like 4 or 5 of those suckers that were just going up and down. They could just pick all day. They're like those little fucking iRobot vacuums, but like massive. And those things were just cruising up and down picking balls. Beautiful little driving range facility. And then to the left, they had a little short game facility, which was awesome. They have little pouches of balls set at different distances and different spots with a bunch of pins. So I went over there and I hit my 10 or 15 shots with my wedges into kind of each green. And then if you want to pick up balls, you push the little thing and it pops them all into a bucket for you. So it was pretty neat. Then they had a couple putting greens that you could get on. The putting green was good, and then the one over by the first tee box was actually completely different than the putting green or the greens that you would have on the range. They were like, it was a much slower green and a little bit more furry, and I was like, why would you do this? Like, just throw everybody off? I putted a couple balls, and I'm like, yeah, no, that is nothing like what we're going to be playing, I'm sure. And I think a gentleman said that. So my grouping, so it was groups of 3. I got paired with Russ, and I got paired with Derek Loveland, who actually, funny story. So last year down at Desert Bloom, he was old Hickory Sticks, and he beat you.
Yes.
And in our inaugural event down here,
yes,
he's playing on the Hickory Sticks. So Leah actually made that pairing for that purpose for me. And it's funny because before she could tell me that, I was talking to Derek, and I'm like, dude, did you play down at Desert Bloom last year? He's like, yeah. He's like, I was the guy playing Hickory Sticks. And I'm like, I knew it. I was like, I knew it. And you know what, man? That gentleman is, I'm not quite sure how old he is, but he's an older gentleman, and he hits such a nice ball. Like, for him to hit it as far as he does is awesome. Like, really good with his driver, really good with the rest of his clubs. His putter's really good. He made a couple beautiful putts, including one birdie for sure out there. And I mean, those greens were fast. I'd like to say that Pinebrook is kind of the best way I can describe it to those from Medicine Hat would be that it's kind of a combination between Desert Bloom and Medicine Hat with narrow fairways. Like, there was a couple fairways that were wide, but those fairways were pretty darn narrow. So I went into Pinebrook and I had a game plan. The game plan was you hit nothing more than a 6-iron off the tee box so that you don't put yourself into any trouble. I mean, I made Leah happy. I know Chris Nelson came up behind me and he was like, "Is that your 6-iron?" And I'm like, "It sure is." And he's like, "Ah, that a boy." So yeah, I got off to a solid start. So I was playing the silver tees, which was 6,119 yards. Hole 1 was 347 yards. I hit my drive out to the right, just off the fair, or it might have been on the fairway or first cut. So when I did the overview on the course, you can see the course, but you can't see the undulation. There was a lot of up and down, a lot of sideways, which kind of reminded me of the mountain course type area, and a lot of that which you wouldn't see when you do the overlook, because that's not there. The topographic doesn't get there's no topographic for that. So first hole on my approach shot, I had one too many clubs because it was kind of, we were down to it a little bit, and I ended up getting too much of it, ended up off the back left side of the green. So I go and I get a wedge and I chip it to within like 2 inches, tapping par. Excellent start. Really happy with that because that could have been really bad because the pin was on the front. Hole number 2. When I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to hit a 6-iron here. So you get up there. It's like straight downhill, water on the left side. And I'm like, okay, I mean, like a 6-iron should be good. Like should be because the fairway kind of runs out unless you carry over the water. So I hit a 6-iron. I hit it just off the left side of the fairway, just before the water. Like I left myself maybe 100 yards into the green, and I was like, wow, okay. So that was like perfect. Anything more would have been too much. So I took my approach shot, hit an absolute beauty to within 3 feet. Little slippery downhill slider for birdie. Well, I missed it. I had a 5-footer coming back for par, and I barely touched it. So I made that one. So I go par. Par 5 is the next one. I'm on in 3. Ended up 3-putting for a 6. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'm one over. 4, I put my, there were some blind tee shots that you don't know what's on the other side of the hill. And you're just like, I think it should be good. Like, I don't know. I hit a great 6-iron. It kind of went right just a touch. It ended up underneath of a tree. Well, I couldn't get a wedge on it. I had to punch it up, chip it on, and then 2-putt for a bogey. And I was like, okay, whatever. Hole number 5, another par 4. So coming back along 1, I hit my 6-iron. I lost it right, and I was literally directly behind a tree. I had to chip it out. I put it on the green in 3, and then I 3-putted again for a 6. And I was like, well, I did everything right there. I just didn't get the bogey that I was kind of playing for. Hole 6 was a par 3, uphill, kind of into the wind, and I ended up going off the back, like too much club. And so I chipped on and then 2-putted for a bogey. Hole 7 was a shorter par 4, and I ended up taking a double bogey. I had a great drive, and then I kind of beat it around on the green, around the green, and I 2-putted, but it was kind of ugly. Hole 8 was a par 3. Put it on, 2-putted, made par. Hole 9 was another par 5, wider fairway to start. I hit a really good first shot, really good second shot. I made it on in 3, and I 3-putted to take a bogey. So I mean, I had 3 3-putts on the front.
So what did you come out of the front with?
I had 20 putts, and I was 8 over on the front.
Okay.
So decent, not great, but decent.
Decent.
1 under bogey golf, and that's with 2 doubles. So on the back, number 10, longest hole on the course, 421 yard par 4. Water halfway from the middle of the green all the way right, protecting the green. So I hit a 6-iron out there, hit the fairway. Somehow the ball stopped on the slope, so I have a down slope lie, and I'm like, well, I'm not going right at the pin because it was kind of mid, and I'm like, I'm just gonna bail left if I'm gonna bail because I know it's gonna come out left anyways. So I took a 7-iron, and I'm like, this could get me there, but I'm gonna aim a little bit more left just to make sure I don't put it in the water. So I aimed it left. I sculled my chip over the green, ended up off the I think it was in the first cut. It was sitting up. So I get over there, 58 degree, chip it in for par. And I'm like, okay, that's a good save. I like that. That's cool. So we'll start with a par on the back. That's nice. So that's a quick way to get 0 putts on a hole. So number 11, par 3. I think I was short. I chipped on. I 2-putted for a 4. Number 12 was a par 3, 364 yards.
It's a par 4.
Or sorry, par 4, 364 yards. I took a bogey. Number 13 was basically the same hole. Really, it's 365 yards. Took another bogey. Number 14 was a par three. Actually, 13 was the hole that I hit a great drive. I went to hit a wedge shot, and I chunked it. First chunk I've had in a long time on a wedge shot, and I was like, shit. So then I took a wedge, and I'm like, this is gonna be, because the pin was at the front. I'm like, this is gonna be a tough chip shot. So I chipped on. I ended up two putting for bogey, so I was quite happy with that, actually, all things considered. 14 was par three. I hit a great tee shot to 12 feet. Three putted for a bogey. That one was, it looked like it was breaking right from one angle, and from the other angle it was breaking left. And I watched Russ kind of had a similar putt to mine, and he was away, so he putted first. And I'm like, and I thought he pulled his, and it kind of sounded like he pulled his. And then I putted mine, and I'm like, nope, it definitely breaks the opposite direction from the way we think it does. So didn't really do ourselves any favors there. 15, 357 yard par four. I lost mine a little right. I was behind some trees and kind of blocked out, but I hit a 54. Yeah, I hit a 54 over the trees onto the green, two putted for a par. 16 was a 455 yard par five. It took me 4 to get on. I two putted for a 6. 17, 405 yard par four. This one has water in front of the entire green. The entirety of the green was water. So in front of it. So I hit out my drive, and I'm like, man, I gotta like lean on an 8-iron to get this there. So I ripped an 8-iron. I basically put it on the left side of the green, because the green was pretty big, 40 feet away from the pin, basically as far as I could put it without going off. I two putted for a par. 18 uphill 372 par four, hit the fairway. I thought I hit a really good shot. Kind of hit the false front on the green, came back. I grabbed my putter. I Texas wedged it up to within, I don't know, 2.5 feet. Made my putt for par. So I played the back, which is a par 35 at 45 over, which was the best by anybody in the field on the back. So I played the back really, really well in our flight. So I finished with a plus 13, 84.
84.
Yeah.
So when I was watching this, watching the scores come in, I was refreshing watching the scores.
Yeah, we were joking about that, and they're just talking, Lee and I, about Alvin's probably sitting there just
refresh. So I saw Chris was in first place as the groups were coming in. And how many were in the flight?
There was
12?
13 or 14.
13 or 14?
Yeah.
And, there was only like one group left to post, wasn't there?
There was one group and one player who was playing with the B flight. But I said to Leah, because Leah's like, yeah, I was like, I don't think that'll be enough. I was like, it's going to be close. I was like, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And she's like, I don't know, the way the greens are. And I'm like, I would bet, I was like, if I was a betting man, I would put money on that Tyler is probably going to have a great day, because I know he's a good putter or a good player. And I played with him at Mickelson. So I know if anybody's going to beat me, it'll be him.
So I went through as the scores were coming in, and there was only like the 3 of them left.
Yeah.
I clicked on the guys to look at what their placing was.
Yeah.
And I sent you a message, I think.
Yeah, you did.
I said Tyler and someone else really is all you have to worry about.
Yeah.
When it comes to, in my opinion, what's going to happen here. And when Tyler's score posted, I was like, yeah, if there was somebody going to take it, it was probably going to be Tyler.
So Tyler posted an 81, beat me by 3, and he comes in and he hands his card in, and he's like, I had 38 putts. So he basically hit every green in regulation, or almost every green in regulation, and had a bunch of three putts. He said, so he played really well, and I mean, I'm very happy with my 84, like very happy with my 84.
Again, a second place finish at a premier event.
Yeah,
hell yeah, take that and run.
Worth 450 points, I believe. So that was nice. Bumped me up. Also gave me some AGT bucks, which was nice. And got me feeling really good about my game. I mean, I had a good round the day before with Bob, where I shot 10 over, which was really good. And I kind of felt going in like if I could execute on my game plan. And so I did something that I took something that Bob said, and because we had talked, we played for we played the Thursday, and we played the Saturday, Sunday.
Bob, just so you know, Bob is the guy he's our club fitter.
Yeah, he outfitted me with my clubs,
and he takes care of my grips.
Yeah,
and we've played golf with Bob now 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we've played 3 rounds with Bob, and Bob is a experienced golfer.
He's been around the game for a long time,
and just going around doing loops with him, just listening to him talk about the game is just, it has value in itself.
100%. Right? Like, I mean, the one thing I took away for this tournament was he's like, what I used to do in tournaments was I take the tournament scorecard. He's like, and I make my own scorecard. Like, I go through and be like, well, I'd probably shoot a 5 here, or a 6 here, and a 4 here, or a 3 here, and then basically make your own scorecard. So I did that. I went through and I was like, I would expect maybe a bogey here, par here, double here, par here, bogey here. So my pre-round scorecard was an 83 with 2 doubles. I shot an 84. I had 2 doubles. I had 1 extra bogey, and that was the difference.
Wow.
So I played my tournament scorecard to a +1, which I was very happy about. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there is some merit in that little trick that he has. Because, I was talking to Leah about it after, and mentally preparing myself to just accept the fact that, you've already accepted the fact that you're going to get a couple doubles. Doesn't matter where you're going to have them, but you've already mentally prepared yourself that, you might get, you're allowing yourself 2 doubles. So when you get a double, it's like, okay, not the end of the world. I fully expect to get, a couple out there today. So I thought that was an interesting mental trick, and something that kind of kept me on track throughout that day. And overall it was a good experience. I mean, that's my best round I've ever shot on the AGT, best placing I've ever had on the AGT. So it felt good. And I mean, now going into the second major of the season, where it's a 2-day stroke play title, I'm feeling really, really good about my game, and pretty excited to see, what we can do. And the first day, I think, will kind of be a crapshoot out there, because I don't know that a lot of people have played that course, and it wasn't on the AGT Tour last year. So a lot of people are going to be coming in new, just like they were at Pinebrook. So day 1 is going to kind of be some feeling out, figuring some stuff out. Day 2, everybody's going to be kind of, everybody's played a round now, at least one. So now you kind of got a little bit of a different idea. It'll be interesting to see how the field kind of pans out over 2 days.
Yeah, I'm again excited to go play. I do focus a little more when we're playing tournament golf, so I want that focus to see what I can do.
Yep. It is hard though, right? Remember we talked about this at Desert Blue? Like, I was so tired on the way home on Monday. Like, I was like, to stay locked in for an entire round it's tough.
Again, like Desert Bloom being our first exposure to the AGT.
Yep.
And that's where I got my first second place finish in the C flight. Dude, I was mentally done.
Yep.
Like drained. Like I came home and went to bed. Like I had nothing left. If we had to do another round last year, if there was a second round to that, I probably would have shot in the hundreds, because I would not have had anything left, physically or mentally, to play around, like, because I didn't know.
Yep.
You weren't exposed to it, right? So, when we played Invermere, Copper Point at the beginning of this year, I enjoyed both rounds. Again, we played 3 events. 3 events last year? 2 events?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Because we played
Desert Bloom, Strathmore, and
right. Even though Strathmore was rained out, Mickelson was, an adventure.
Lots of rain.
The mental side of playing tournament golf for myself personally has grown.
Yep.
So I don't worry about that grind anymore, because I know you're going to be more focused. You're going to be more mentally into it, and you build yourself up to be prepped for that, right?
Yes,
so,
sir.
I'm looking forward. I know I'll be focused. I'm looking forward to going, getting that first loop in on Saturday, and then kind of going back to the hotel, doing kind of around, post-mortem and prepping for Sunday, right?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting, and I mean, really, it's our first. It's our first ever 2 day stroke play event.
Yes, because
Like we played Copper Point and it was
Stableford.
So now it's stroke play, and stroke play is just it's a different animal.
Yeah. Yep. Because again, you can take yourself out of the round in round one.
Yeah, you shoot
right?
a 7 or an 8 or a 9.
Stableford, you really everybody's kind of still in it after day one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just another experience in this whole golf journey, right? It's like, but even if you have a bad day on round one, you still have to go play at round two, and then you have to mentally prep for just going and playing a decent round because there's still spots to gain. Somebody's going to have a bad second round. You want to have a good second round, so
you can't win it on your first
right?
day,
but you can lose. Yeah. So, for myself, mentally, I want to shoot in the 80s, and I don't care if it's 89. If I'm setting a goal for myself, day one, I would love to shoot in the 80s.
Yeah, I think that's a good goal.
Right. So I'll have a look at the scorecard, do kind of a overview what the scorecard is.
And honestly, if you can put 2 days in the 80s, you're going to be top.
Yeah,
top
exactly.
Top 8.
You'll be fine, right? So I'll have to look at what holes maybe will give me trouble, or holes that maybe I can score on. So kind of do that whole prep thing that you were talking about, right?
Well, they have the junior. I think it's a junior.
Some sort of junior tour there.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So and then Saturday and Sunday we're going to be there.
It's going to be in immaculate tournament condition. Those greens are going to be wickedly fast, and that course is going to be set up to be very tough.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because we've gotten some of those courses at after some of these high profile events, and it's just like you get to see a course like that some of these really good golfers
set up for really good golf, right? And
yeah.
Here we are, hackers going around getting the opportunity to play on these type of courses. It's kind of cool.
You talk about the mental side of the game. I mean, a little side note. I know we don't talk much about the professional game, but I mean, Tommy Fleetwood was in perfect position going into today at the Travelers Championship, and he still has not won on the PGA Tour. And he shot a 2 over, bogeyed 18 to lose a chance at a playoff, and watch Keegan Bradley drain his birdie to win the title. And it's like, even the pros struggle with that.
It's hard. Golf is hard, and it's hard to win.
Yep.
Right? It's a sport that you can say what you want. There can be 70 people in the field, right? In our case, there's going to be
probably 15, 20.
About 5 winners, right?
Yep.
One for each flight. So
yep.
You have 70 people in there, and only 5 people are going to get in a tournament, like a pro tournament. There's like 100 and something in the field, and at the end of the 4 days, only one guy wins, right? It's hard to win. The game itself is hard, but it's really hard to win a tournament in golf as well. So
yeah, but I mean that's been our Pinebrook recap and our little touch in our golf. And I mean the next time we come to you guys, we'll be recapping
the major,
Paradise Canyon Major, and maybe hopefully one of us might have a trophy.
No, well, I mean, I was going to say no, we won't be there. But you know what? That's what we're going for. That is literally what we're going to Lethbridge to try and win.
I mean, all you can do is go and try and play your best and leave it out there and see what happens, right? I mean, you can't control the weather. You can't control the other people. You can't control the outcome of your shots once they leave your club. So I mean, it's you just do what you can do and try and put yourself in the best position. And after 2 days, we'll tally the strokes, see where we're at,
see where it's up. Because again, it's the same thing. My mental set of it since we started this has never been that. I just want to go for the experience of blah 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 blah. Right?
Yep.
Now it's to the point. That's bullshit. That is utter fucking bullshit. I want to go and I want to have an opportunity to win.
I want to just keep collecting points so I can get into the top 32 because I'm getting real close.
Yeah, well, again, same thing. Go. I had a top 10 finish at
Copper?
No,
Delacour.
Right? I was inside the top 10 at Delacour.
Yeah.
I was really happy with that.
Yeah.
Right? top 10 finishes, top 3 finishes. That's, if
you're top 5, like if you can sneak into the top 5s, you give yourself a really good opportunity. Especially like the majors are worth major points.
Yes.
So I mean, those are the ones you want to do well.
So again, I like the top 10 finishes. I like the top 3 finishes. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, the win. I'm going to go to try and win, but again, I want to get inside that top 10. I want to fight for a top 3. Like, that's my mental set is there now. Like, I want this now, right?
Compete.
So compete.
Go compete.
You bet.
And see what happens.
You bet. So that's a different mind frame that I have too now. Is we both want to win. We want to get an AGT victory, and yeah,
that was the goal this season, right? Is for one of us to find an AGT victory somewhere along the line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be. I mean, ultimately, we don't get to decide which one that's going to be. We just have to try and keep laying down good rounds.
Again, when those scores were coming in, I was really happy that you were at the top. But the competitive side was like, I don't fucking want this guy to win because I don't want him, especially if I'm not there.
Yeah.
Like fuck that. But that's the competitive side between you and me, anyways. And looking forward.
Take a second place finish.
Well, for sure. It's, like I said, top 10, top 3, right? So yeah, next episode we'll do a recap of that, and looking forward to that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the Paradise Canyon major recap.
And so that'll be dropped on Tuesday, and next Tuesday, you and I will be playing in the Canada Day event at Medicine Hat.
Oh, that's right.
So that one will probably be on
the alternate shot.
The tournament that we are awful in.
Well, you know what? Where our games are at right now, you're going to be happy to be hitting my shots, and I'm going to be like, what the fuck are you leaving me? So it's going to be a reversal of fortunes, I think.
Yeah. I remember that horse race last year when we were doing the club championship.
Oh, yeah.
And they wanted you to tee off on the first hole. I was like, well, we're fucked.
We actually made it to the fourth hole, or third hole. Lost it or chip off.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, take care. We'll see you next episode. We're out.
Later.